Heresiarch. Heresy. An originator or chief advocate of a heresy. The Heresiarch. A heresiarch. In English, an old French heretic, the ecclesiastical Latin from Greek heretikos, able to choose.
It's not God that kills the children, not fate that butchers them, or destiny that feeds them to the dogs. It's us. Only us. That's Rorschach from the Watchmen comics. So it's Saturday, May 18th, 2019, 7:26 p.m. I find myself talking into a sound-dampened box, so I can try to get the best audio I can. My name is Kessie Anderson, and this is my channel, Heresiarch. Alright, to get the party started that isn't, I have had many questions that have just shown up in the last 10 years. Something has changed in the narrative, something has changed in the discourse profoundly from when I was just a little kid watching my Saturday morning cartoons. I just want my Ghostbusters back. I just want Bugs Bunny and Tweety Show back. I just want my Thundercats, my Robotech. Just those great things, those memories, that innocence that I had back in the day. Ultima 4 was my favorite Commodore 64 game. I loved that. So, fast forward to now and this clown world that we live in. I don't know what has happened. And so I went on a mission to see what I could find out. Well, that mission led me to a source. It wasn't even until 5 months ago that I discovered what this was. But it is the source of our censorship. It is the source of our technocracy. It is the source of the Silicon Sultans taking control of everything that we do digitally, trying to edit it, socialize it, weaponize it. The globalization comes from this source. The forced immigration, this clown world being run by clowns, is because of this document that I came across. Now, it goes all the way back to the Bible. It goes from before the 10 Commandments. Goes to Adam and Eve, up to the time of Noah, up to the time of Moses, that all of this is coming from. Sounds crazy. It is crazy. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about. The name of this is Noahide Code, or Noahide Commandments, or Noahide Law. Now, the controversy that people don't even understand is a controversy comes down to the commandments given to Moses on Mount Sinai. Most people would assume that it is the 10 Commandments. I was under that assumption my entire life. However, that is not the case. Moses was given a first set of commandments that he dashed on the ground when he saw that the Israelites were sinning and worshiping the golden calf. 99% of Christianity assumes that those were the original 10 Commandments as well. However, that is absolutely not the case. Well, how can I say that? Well, in the world of pretend, it is exactly that, the world of pretend. All religion, however you want to spin it, has its own personal preferences, personal opinions, personal sins that take precedent over whatever. That's fine. Live however you want. My problem is when something is in the arena of ideas and brought into action, that's where the danger lies. In the arena of ideas, anybody can talk, anybody can discuss, free speech, that's my opinion. The key to censorship is more speech. The key to hate speech is more speech. Now, when Moses came down from the mount and he shattered the first set of tablets, those were, according to a certain group, the laws given to Noah, as well as to Adam. And they use various verses in the Old Testament from Genesis to justify that claim. what makes their claim different than the rest of Christianity. This group has taken their belief in these Noahide laws, and they have now got them legislated into our United States Congress. They have got them legislated into the United Nations. They have formed an NGO, which is a non-governmental organization, touting and pushing these. Every president since Jimmy Carter in 1978 up to Donald J. Trump in 2019 has signed off on these laws every single year. In 2018, all 50 governors of every state have signed these into our laws. What are they? There are 7 of them, called the Noahide Laws. Most people say, well, what's the threat? I am no militant atheist by any means. I do believe in a higher power, absolutely. Absolutely, I know that there's something greater than us. However, I am not confident enough to, number 1, say I have all the answers, and number 2, try to legislate you believing how I believe. Now, this group, they, number 1, believe 100% they are the truth. Number 2, they are legislating it accordingly. Now, these Noahide laws, they do mirror the 10 Commandments to a degree. However, there are only 6 Noahide laws. A 7th that has been added, according to their doctrine, based on a verse in the Bible, was to establish courts of justice. So this group has also legislated it into the United Nations and is trying to make these as the foundation for the international courts. This should very much get the hackles on your neck standing on end if you understand the threats of the United Nations. Now, what I'm going to be doing, I have found on a website, noahide.org, a workbook that they use. They have this information in 6 lessons. So what I'll be doing in my subsequent videos is breaking these down and going into further detail why they are such a threat against you, me, and literally all of humanity aside from this group. I'm going to try to make this paint by numbers. I'm going to try to Gerber spoon feed this to you so that it makes as much sense as possible. I'm going to keep my bias out of it as much as I can, and when I say something is my opinion, you'll absolutely either know it's my opinion or I will literally tell you, now this is my opinion. What I also recommend, research this stuff on your own. Don't even take my word for it. If you are half an ounce awake, if you are diet woke, if you have taken a pink pill, any pill at this point, this is something you need to pay attention to. Now, if you're a social justice warrior, if you are a social conservative warrior, you are probably going to hate a lot of what I have to say. Focus on the substance. Try not to focus on the presentation as much. Now, as a general rule, the only way I live is by natural law, and that is do no harm. That's it. That's all I live by. Do no harm. You do that, you can be a 99% productive member who participates in society. Now, there are other groups that just can't do that. And what they have to do is they have to take their belief system and shove it into your face. And that is what we have with these Noahide laws. Now, why do I say this group has the truth about the Noahide laws versus everybody else's opinion? Whether you're Catholic, whether you're Protestant, whether you're Lutheran, Methodist, Mormon, it doesn't matter. This group has trumped you in this arena. Their opinion of these first set of tablets that Moses was given trumps anything that you believe. Why can I say that? Because they not only believe it, they have now legislated it into our legal code. That is the difference. If you have an arena of ideas and they're just ideas, it's open to anybody to participate. Anybody can talk. Anybody can persuade. Anybody can discuss. Once you take that out of the arena of ideas and put it into practice, the rules are drastically different. This is what we're talking about. This is why it is a threat. Now, what I'm going to do in the next videos is go and deep dive each individual idea using the lessons I found on the Noahide.org website. And it will give you a window into the mindset of what these supremacists are going to try to do to all of us. Now, this is a long-term thing. My hope is that we get ahead of the curve and we understand the threat for what it is. There's a lot of people who are asleep that just think, oh, Neil deGrasse Tyson's a scientist, Bill Nye's the science guy, global warming, all this science that is fake. All right, so I'm stopping right there. I'm not even going into the main group that's pushing this. I just want you to be aware of these Noahide laws. I'm going to put the links in the video description below so that you can research them, look through them, and then in the subsequent videos that I'm going to put out, I'm going to deep dive in specifics, the group that's doing it, what they're doing with it, going through their website, going through how it affects us, going to talk about how this is the underpinning for everything we are going through in this clown world. Unfortunately, they have the power. They have the agenda. They have the will to enforce it. We need to be aware. Then hopefully later we can figure out a way to get out of this. Because as it stands right now, the future is very bleak based on what is coming. So again, thank you for joining me. Until next time.